Okay, here we go. Welcome. Welcome,
Thank you.
Cassie. So happy to see you.
Thank you. So happy to be here. Hello, Italian tribe.
Yeah, and we're thinking about creating maybe a monthly appointment with Cassie so we can touch base on the pillars of the business and have her wisdom, her support, her just I feel just being around you, Cassie, just makes a big difference. And so very grateful if we can cut out this like maybe 30 minutes or an hour a month for the Italian team. And so then I can, then translate it all for Italy, but it's very nice to have your presence, your input and your experience.
Thanks. So happy to be here. Sometimes, just like you said, having it said in different words or in different context or from someone else or a different experience can really make a difference in how people evolve in this business. So I'm grateful that we're able to share this leadership journey. And anyone else on your team that wants to step up into this role and lead a call sometime, I'm sure other people would get value from that as well. So it's nice that we can all do this together.
Yeah, totally. In fact, I would like to initiate this like rolling of voices on our weekly calls so that is not just one voice. And even if other women, maybe they don't feel they're ready in a leadership position, but they can still have their way of connecting with other women. And the leadership is such a big part of, what we do, and owning a sense of like, okay, I got this, I can talk to other women, and is this such a great practice ground to lead a call. So I will definitely want to like bring this in addition to our weekly calls to give, opportunity for all of us to lead a call.
Yeah, I love how you just said that just showing up on these calls and leading, even if it's about teaching about one essential oil that you've loved that week, is a really beautiful opportunity to step into any role of leadership or teaching or that role that will show up in so many other aspects of your life, which is so neat. That's why I love this doTERRA business, is that you show up and teach about an essential oil, and then you're able to go home and teach something to your kids or teach to a community or teach a class. And it's really nice that we're able to learn from these calls.
Yeah.
Just how to teach better.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Because a lot of us are still like in the beginning of this and beginning to share the oils or have classes. And I feel this is such a great practice ground, with women that we know, where we can make mistakes and get better at it, and maybe start even giving feedbacks. Because we got a really big wave of feedback in this past couple months in our team from the the unhappiness about the customer service, which is definitely going through a difficult time, the Italian customer service. But it really helped me understand what I can do, and also what I cannot do, or like what I want to do and what I don't want to do about this business. And so it really helped me clear and just focus on like, oh, there's like space here for improvement, or we can better this area. So
I love that you say that. I think that's a great thing to remember. Our roles in doTERRA. So what is your role as a leader and what is your role as a teacher? Because all of a sudden, if you have people placed beneath you or you're enrolling people, sometimes people are expecting more of you than you can actually give. So I just want to clarify, your role as a leader is to create a vision, to hold the vision, and to be a model of that vision. So it's not customer service, not in the way that the doTERRA, the essential oil company, is handling. That's not your role as a leader. And then it's also your role when modeling to continue teaching, to continue educating. And so when people first enroll in doTERRA, their role is to teach. Their role is to use essential oils and experience them. And then if they're interested in the business, to teach and experience the business. So it is not their role to be managing other people. It is not their role to be expecting things of their leader besides basic education of the oils and of the business. So there's really a responsibility when people come into this business. The leader has to do their stuff. They're still running their own business. They're still teaching. They're still managing their business and helping their team and their community grow. And then someone new in dōTERRA is also doing their stuff. So there's two different roles, and it's easy to expect a lot from a leader. And I think that's a way sometimes that people aren't empowering themselves to go out there and just do it. You really have to experience this business. It's not something that you can just read about, or even someone can tell you about, like I'm sure you know. But really getting out there, arranging a class, teaching a class, and then you learn from that.
Yeah, I agree. But
Yeah.
it's, for our Italian team, like I really feel that it's been so much about like empowering each other and more like coaching rather than because that's my vision. For me, this work, like any other work in my life, is about empowerment and spiritual development and embodiment of those spiritual values and create abundance in one's life. So for me, it's, of course, like that's my thing. So of course the calls with me are more into that realm, so like empowering people. But it's also, I feel, really good and important like to come out each with our qualities. And we have a beautiful woman here in our team, Sylvia, that probably cannot be with us tonight, but will watch this video. And she's like so skilled, and like her mind is incredible at working with structure. And now she's created a page for the business, and she really is like a geek of like understanding structures and numbers and communicating that and creating a lot of trust in her. So for me, this has been a really big thing in like finding people that are also great at doing things that I'm not so great at. And that is the team building part.
Yeah. Well, I love what you said about the values and the spiritual development and the empowerment and the really authentic expression of one's own being in this business. Because I really believe, and I'm seeing this even more now, is that someone can come in with their own unique creativity and their own way of teaching about essential oils in whatever way that resonates with them. And I love that. And what I'm seeing more and more is that underneath that, it's very important to have the basic skills understood and practiced, like how to invite to a class, how to host a class, how to follow up, how to explain LRP. Those are specific skills that I think when that baseline is met, then there's so much more expansion and creativity that one can feel competent in their teaching, in their running of this business. Whereas that's like the bones of the business. I feel like that's the bones of the business, those skills, and then the skin is their essence, their
uniqueness.
Yeah, their uniqueness and their individuality, which we want to foster in this business for sure. It's about duplication, but more than that, it's about finding your authentic voice and your authentic expression. And when that baseline of skills are met, one can feel more confident in exploring different ways of teaching, exploring different ways of connecting, communicating. And I'm really excited because I'm going to start doing a skills training every Saturday. So I'll be focusing specifically on those skills that I believe are the baseline for the business. And then I think everything else can just grow from there.
Wow. Is that going to be like,
I think I'll do Facebook Live.
okay.
It seems like that's a good, it seems like that's a good thing. It's easy for people to just hop on. So I'll do a Facebook Live every Saturday, and I'll let you know the time. And yeah, so I think that's important. I'm finding that. And then there people can have the confidence. That's a big thing. Do you find that in your team as well? Like that if they're not confident in teaching, it really doesn't evolve very quick.
Yeah. Yeah. And now, like, I feel that's why, I mean, I feel your role now is so important, that because they will like hear the basics, the ABCs, those bones from a different perspective. Also because like I've been giving this information over this past year, which has developed more maybe the confidence, but now we're like ready to go back again at the bones, so that it just developed in this way, you know?
Yeah. And it's important to remember too, because once somebody has their own voice and their own creativity and their teaching style, someone else that sees them might feel like they can't do that. Mm-hmm. They might feel like that's so unique to Giselle. She's teaching about this and that. Like that doesn't resonate with me. So they might feel like they can't do it. Yeah. And we want everyone to feel like they can do it, because it really is simple. Once you have a basic class under your belt where you understand the top 10 oils, the basics on how to explain those oils in a way that meets the customer's highest need. So there's a really deep sense of service in that, and really explaining it in a way that connects with them, so they know how to use oils and it resonates with them, so they want to buy the oils. And once that's met, once people can see how easy it is, that's when more people will want to start doing the business with you as well. Yeah,
absolutely true. Yeah, would you like to go over now like a few like basics
yeah.
to know?
Well, I'm wondering, what do you think would be most impactful? Would it be the invitation? Would it be just going through a basic class right now? Or
more like maybe like giving an idea of the compensation?
Okay.
How would that work? Because I feel like a lot of people are like very far away from the understanding of how you make money with this.
Great. Yeah, perfect. So I was thinking last time when we were on the call, because I started thinking, gosh, if someone just wanted to make an extra $1,000 a month, how good would that make them feel? And a lot of women, an extra $1,000 a month is really nice. It could be life-changing in a way that it steps them up to a new level, or just a new way of living, and having an extra $1,000 in their account. So basically, on a basic compensation level, if you want to make money with dōTERRA, there's bonuses and there's ranks and there's unilevel that you can make extra money on. But when someone's first starting out, they're pretty much only making money from the fast start bonus. And that's every order that someone places, you get 25% compensation. And what that looks like is if somebody orders a home essentials kit in America, it's $250. So you would be making a $50 bonus off that. So pretty much if you want to make money fast. Okay, here, just one second. Sorry, breastfeeding. Breastfeeding the older one and the baby. But if you want to make money, it really comes down to hosting classes. Okay, so what that would look like is, say you host one class a week, you invite 5 people, and 3 people enroll. Sorry, let me do my math here. So that's $150 from that class. Sorry, I'm getting my calculator out. Yeah, so if you do that one class a week, then you're making an extra $600 a month.
Just
If
from
you
those
do
fast start.
just from the fast start, that's not even including any bonuses. So that's an extra $600 in a month. If you do 2 classes a week, invite 5 people each, let's say you enroll 3, then you're making $1,200 a month. And the amount of time it takes to host one class, let's say you spend an hour inviting people. You spend an hour on the class. You should not be spending more than an hour on the class teaching. Obviously, you can have more community connection before or after. But the actual, if you're doing dollar for hours, yeah, the class would just be an hour. And entering orders, following up, let's say that's another hour. So that's only 3 hours of your time to do 1 class a week. So if you're doing 2 classes a week, that's only 6 hours a week to make an extra $1,200.
Yeah.
So it's nice to, what I've really loved that I didn't notice I wasn't doing before is the numbers. Really keeping track of, and I'll go into this in the skills training as well, but knowing your numbers of how many people you're enrolling, your enrollment percentage, your closing percentage. That way you can know where exactly to place your time. And a lot of times in this job, we spend an hour on a Facebook post about essential oils, but it's not making us any money. Yeah, she's awake. Okay, go see her. And we'll spend time on a Facebook post, or we'll spend time on a beautiful invitation or something like that. And that's actually not what's going to be making you money. So it's really important to focus on the income generating aspects of the business, and that's inviting people to classes or one-on-ones, hosting,
how to close a class.
How to close a class. And that will be something that I'm going to talk about in the skills as well, because that's so important.
Yeah, and with closing, we mean because maybe our girls are not familiar with this language, is like how many people actually enroll and buy oils after a class. Because I feel that so many of us, because they don't want to be like selling or feeling like they're trying, like pushing the sale at the end of the class, they maybe don't even mention how to hi baby.
Well, there's something so different about being able to sell with soul. And selling is so important, because if we want people to change their lives using essential oils, they have to buy oils. They have to have them in their home. It doesn't help them at all to have the education if they can't use them when their child is sick at home in the middle of the night, or they can't use them when they're sick and they can't go do something, or if they're breaking down and they need emotional balance. It's not going to help them to have the education if they don't buy it. So really embodying that and knowing that and trusting that is huge. And that comes from experience of using the oils, because you know their value when you use them.
Oh my God, yeah. And I love how that like grows with my experience of the oils, because like I was enthusiastic about talking about the oils from before I got them. Like I enrolled a couple of people before even my kit arrived, because I was like so like excited about them. But now it's like, especially now that I've been traveling for 2 years, and my essential oils are like always with me. Like I rather like give up clothes or books and stuff, but have all the oils with me. And my teacher and my kids, and in the past month that I took like the airplane 6 times.
Wow.
Like it was always like the priority of my bag, hand luggage were the oils, like both for like health and emotional balance. I was going through like a big change. I just moved to another place, which is super exciting, but it's like, oh my God, I really need these oils. And so I just feel it like what is transmitted now with the 2.5 years of experience of the oils is something like I'm so confident about them that there's no doubt. Like people don't read any doubt and you don't have any doubt the more you use them. So I feel that this is always so important, like that as a leader you use the oils and you use the emotional aromatherapy kit and you take the supplements, because like if you have that like super strong living experience, that's what's going to inspire people. Like I cannot, like if my face was covered with rashes, I couldn't, which can happen of course to everyone, but like I couldn't talk about like the skincare or like how amazing the oils are for my skin if I wasn't, you know, like actually really using them and benefiting from them. So to me, this is where a lot of the confidence in the business comes from.
Yeah, that closing, or the idea of selling that people aren't comfortable with yet, it's really something that they have to do some deep work on and really come into alignment with. Because if people, I mean, if you can't sell, if you don't want to sell anything, then this isn't the right business for you. At the end of the day, that is what we do. We sell essential oils so people can heal themselves, heal their families. That's the business. So come into alignment with it.
Yeah. Not.
Yeah, it's just, that's the reality. Like, to make money, you have to sell. And to sell with soul, to sell with spirit, to sell with truth and love, that's important. And so when you can really, really dig deep and find or understand, experience the value of those oils, then speak with that posture and that confidence, that closing rate, as well as there's something else to closing as well. I mean, there's definitely, it's not all heart and soul. There are techniques that I want to teach you guys specifically, that I'll be talking about in that skills training, that it's a way that people really can understand why they specifically need the oils right now. And that's really just touching on their pain points, understanding, taking that time in the beginning of the class to ask what it is they're looking for, what they need help with, and then really speaking, using the oils to speak to them. So if they say, for example, they have a lot of stress, you would talk about the lavender specifically having to do with stress reduction compared to all the other amazing benefits that lavender has. But you speak to them about the oils and how the oils work specifically for them, which I love, because it's so easy to talk about how you use the oils all the time and what works for you and what's and all about your story. But when we can make it more about them, that's when people will buy more.
Yeah, and I feel that this is a great point, because I've been just started like a couple weeks ago a series of Facebook lives on oils, but not from like my desire of talking about the oils in a specific way, but like it's called like answering to the questions. So it's like people asking me about the oils and I know where they're coming from. So it's like directing the conversation in a way that is actually answering something. And yeah, I just felt that it was really just very, it's a very good way to talk about the oils if you're answering something, because it's not, yeah, again, like it's not about you. I mean, of course there's my experience with them, but it's like is more like a service, and which makes it completely different.
And it makes it more relatable for them. Obviously they can understand or hear your journey and be happy for you, but if it doesn't resonate with them and their needs, then they won't buy the oils. It has to work for them.
Yeah. And would you have any other tip about the building blocks of, you know, this bone structure? So it really, like, I mean, I say this all the time, because when people are like, how does it work? How do you make money? It's like, you have to teach classes or host events, and I feel like this call is it might be clarifying about this, because that's really the way to do it. And then, I mean, of course you could do it online as well, but it's just different.
Yeah, from what I'm learning about the online structure, it's totally different, and it's not any easier. So at the end of the day, if you want to make money with doTERRA, enroll people. It's that easy, whether it's a class, a one-on-one, a friend, your mom, your sister, whatever. If you want to make money, enroll people. Don't worry about finding a perfect leader. Don't worry about bonuses, and all that stuff comes. It won't come if you're not enrolling people. So I mean, at least 3 to 5 people a month is like a starting point.
Yeah.
That's where you can start. After you're enrolling 3 to 5 people a month, that's where you can start having conversation about structure, placement, bonuses, power of 3, unilevel. But you don't even need to have those conversations, because they're not even relevant until you're enrolling people. So when you're on average enrolling 3 to 5 people a month, then start having those conversations with your upline and figure out where to be placing them strategically, this and that. But I won't even have that conversation with someone until they're enrolling people, because it's pointless, and you can't show them on their tree until there's people enrolled, and they don't see the impact until they're enrolling people of the different bonuses. So it's silly to even think about that. But if you want to make money with doTERRA, enroll people, as many people as you can. So it's simple. And there's different ways. You teach home classes, you can teach workshops, you can teach one-on-ones, you can do Facebook Lives like you're doing. You can go to spas if that interests you. There's so many different ways. You really have to find your own way, your own style. And I've gone through different styles. In the beginning, I only taught classes, and then I only taught one-on-ones. And now I'm moving a little bit more online. I love doing the Facebook Live videos. So it's just, everyone's going to go through their own different styles and try them all out. It's trial and error. Yeah, and you can't get discouraged, because it's an experiential business. It's an experiential life. This is all just a journey, and this is just one part of it, and it's important that you enjoy it more than anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like, find a way that you enjoy the most.
Totally.
Sharing. And if a class is too stressful, then like find something else. Or like we have women in our team that are incredible writers, and so they could, just go that route. And I mean, I am being constantly educated by women in my team that maybe they're not building, but they have so much wisdom and capacity to share through the words that it's beautiful. And each of us can find like our own like specific. But I feel that I get the most enrollments the months that I'm having most fun with it. And really, whether that is classes or my detox programs or the Facebook Lives, is always when I'm like doing something that I really love. And for me now, it's the video, because it's very direct. But the other night I was here in Ibiza, and like I met a woman that is using the oils but doesn't know anything about them. And like, there you go, we set up a class. After Christmas, we're gonna have a class in her home with people. And yeah, like I really look forward to to meet the market here and teach classes, because that's always so, I mean, to me, it's really nice to be with the people and have them use the oils during the class, for example. And yeah, I mean, I would like you, because you're so good at the closing classes, would you like to, I mean, I know you will do it in the little trainings on Facebook, but would you like to say something about like how the wording around?
Yeah, let me grab something, just a second. Let's see. I have all my outlines written out, and I normally always refer to them before a class, or if I do a one-on-one, I have them open during. And what that does is it lets my mind not worry about the next step and instead focus on the person. And it gives me a lot of space to really connect with them instead of worrying about what to say next.
That's great.
So I'd love to give you guys these as well. Jeez, yeah. Sorry, this one's more about business conversations. Yeah, I don't have it in front of me. But let me just think. Yeah, so when I'm closing a class, actually I can pull it up here. Sorry. Oh, here we go. Okay. Okay. Now I see. Now I remember. Yeah. So okay. This is what I do. So pretty much I tell them the 2 kits. I always do 2 kits, and I do the Family Essentials kit, which is the 150 kit, $150, and then the Home Essentials kit. So they have 2 options, and that just gives them less options, less confusion, because they always say a confused mind. You what? You want to go to school? Okay, we're gonna go. So they say a confused mind always says no, so it's good to just have 2 options. So I do a 150 option, 275 option, explain them both, and the top 10 oils come in both of those oils, which I just explained during the class. Sorry. And yeah, so actually that's pretty much it. So pretty much throughout the class, I've already connected to all their needs, talking about all the oils. I've given them 2 options at the end. They can either say yes or no, and I always give them space after I explain the oils. I zip it, and you don't start justifying why they need this or need that or they need more or anything, but you just zip it and let them think, let them figure out what they want. If they have any questions, they can ask you. And then from there we set up a follow-up appointment. If they say yes, if they say no, if they only want a few oils, then if they don't want a kit, then we talk about that as well. So we just get them whatever they need. It's better to have someone go home with 1 or 2 oils than nothing.
Yeah.
You want them to take oils home. You want them to enroll and take oils home, because that's when they're going to start using them, experiencing them, and for sure they're going to want more.
Of course. Yeah.
So even if it's 1 or 2, and you know what, another thing to do is that even if you have just a few oils on hand, you can always say this is a free take home if you buy tonight. You can offer a gift, like this is a takeaway if you buy the oils tonight. So you can even make a roller ball. Yeah, a free gift if they order tonight, which is nice because they can actually start using the oils before the oils come.
Yeah, I always have the this with me. I have it even here. I always have this. Like I always buy 10 of these and have them around for gifts or for classes to buy. Maybe I sometimes this or the family physician, sometimes I also have, and like give them like a good price if like there's the enrollment, and so they can go home with it and start using them. And
that's a great tip, Giselle. That's a huge closing closing incentive that people could all learn from to do at a class?
Yes, I always have like, I have always something that people can take away. Even sometimes it's just a magazine, but the magazine is so cool. Like both magazines are like really rich with a lot of information, and they get like to look at all the products throughout the class. And then I always have kits there because they always engage with the oils throughout the class, even if it's just a one-on-one. Like we spend so much time like picking through the oils and trying them out and smelling and talking about them, and it's just so much. I've seen a lot of benefits in having something that they can buy at the moment. Or I mean, I'm big in gifts, like essential oil gifts. Like it's I don't ship anymore samples because I've been traveling so much. But the women that have received my samples, like keep them. Like I have a woman that has like still a little sample I gave her 2 years ago, and it's like so dear to her heart. And so like giving, there's like a lot of potential in like giving to people. Like giving first is a really good strategy in general in life.
Yeah.
And
nice.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's always good for an event to have like not only the value of what you're giving in words, but also like offer something, whether it's like a little paper with a summary of what you've been talking about. I made a PDF of the 10 oils with their uses that I always send out after the classes. So they get like the instructions to buy the oils if they haven't got the kit yet, and like already the information, so they know already, like maybe they forgot what we spoke about in class, there was too much information or too many people, and they get it that night via email. And I feel that it like creates a lot of like trust in like, oh, this person is really here and available.
Yeah, that's great.
That works.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things that can help the closing rate, and I think it's important to pay attention to. People can do classes and classes, and so they say the numbers: 20% will never buy from you. 20% of people will just never buy from you. They're just not interested, and that's people that you contact. 20% will buy for sure, and that's like your grandma and your mom and your family and your best friends. They're going to buy for sure. And then there's 60% that's up to you, and that's where you have the influence. So if you're looking at those numbers, don't be discouraged if 20% are not interested or not going to buy 20% of your class. Don't be interested. Don't be worried about that. I mean, an average closing rate, a good closing rate is more than 50%. So even if only half, yeah. So that's like something that a goal that you'd want to shoot for is 70% of the class to enroll. Like that's good. That's really good. That means that you've got your closing skills down. And that's good. That's a good rate. Because the additional 20% is not going to buy anyways. So that's just a good kind of number. And if people are at 50% closing rate, that's okay too. But it's good to pay attention to, so then you know what to work on.
Yeah.
Where to improve. Was it the invitation? Did people not show up to the class? Was it the actual class? Was it was it too long? Did they smell too many oils? I remember I used to get people sick with my classes because they would smell 100 oils and they would leave feeling nauseous and no one would buy anything. I'm all, that's weird. Why didn't anyone buy anything? They're about to throw up. So I just did too many oils. I mean, that's stuff that you just learn from experience.
Yeah.
Giselle, I love you. I have to go. Anna, it was so good to see you.
Yeah, I need to go too. But this is like one of like, thank you for your time, and let's do more of these. And if you're going to do the Facebook lives, like we're going to join the live with questions and things, and that will make it much easier.
Yeah, yeah, that'll be so fun. I'm excited. I'm excited to get back in, and I want to thank everyone again for giving me the time and space to be with my family during these first few months of the newborn. It's been a little crazy. So we love you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for having me. Okay, ciao.
Ciao, loves. Ciao, Anna.
Ciao, grazie.
Figurati, spero che sia stato tutto abbastanza chiaro. Poi, insomma, è un argomento talmente grande che è difficile, però boh, per me è di ispirazione parlare con lei e con Holly, l'altra mia, diciamo, collega australiana, perché lo senti che è proprio solida, no?
Sì, comunque hanno esperienza, si vede, ecco, e quindi assolutamente è importante. Sì, ho colto qualche concetto